Okay, so first time in VR is the best time I've ever had since I was a kid when I first experienced video games. Now, I feel like I have to say the story before I get into the VR stuff. Because when I was a kid, my emotions and such were very unstable. Like, I don't say this story very often because it's my head's in a very different place now. But like when I was a kid, whenever I was happy, I felt like I was in paradise. And if there was something funny, I'd laugh for hours, even if it was the silliest, simple joke. Like, say one thing funny, I'll laugh for at least 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. And then if I got sad, I would literally cry until I went to sleep. It was terrible. So luckily, there was some medication I had, and then I was an absolute robot for a while. That sucked. And then after a few years of not being on that medication anymore, I had a normal mind. So yay. So because of that, uh, when I first saw video games, that's the only time I got like super immersed into video games. And when I was playing Mario, like the first game I ever played, Super Mario Bros. 1, whenever he jumped into the sky, I felt like I was going so high, and like I felt the wind going around me and everything because it felt like I was actually there. Because apparently I had a very imaginative mind, and then combine that with a really crazy emotions and such, it felt really good, which is why I love video games so much. But of course, with all the emotions and such uh, being normalized over time, I thought I would never feel that ever again. I'm not. I don't want to have that mind again because the negatives were not worth the positive of feeling paradise. But that said, VR. Oh my God, VR. I haven't been this happy since then, and I love VR so much because you know how like you get in the zone in something whether it's a video game or a sport or anything else, any sort of hobby, everything just disappears and it's just you and that, and you're just having a grand old time doing everything awesomely. It's kind of like that, but even better. And it's really weird because it's the headset that does everything for you, so it's a little bit weird. Now, my first time with VR. Now, people tell me get get plenty of sleep and don't play for more than 1 hour for your first time playing VR. What did I do? I was like, I did not do that, obviously. I was going to just test it out, make sure it works, and then, well, lo and behold, I spent like several hours just playing VR for my first time. So I do have I did record myself doing it the first time, and I can upload that if you want, but it didn't record right. So you get to see me go holy shit a bunch of times, and I was very quiet when the video is there, and then the video will go black after a while, and it's just me talking because I didn't know that it was just going to go swap right into Steam VR Home. And I thought it was still going to keep recording, but it didn't. Oh well. So I can upload that if you want. But basically, I didn't talk that much at first because I was so overwhelmed. It was blowing my mind so much. I have never said holy shit and been so shocked for so long in my life. It was ridiculous. Um, Funny part is, like, ooh, I'm a little tired. But yeah, just I don't feel it anymore, but like for the first like week or so, well, first week. This is my second week basically. Well, actually third week, but whatever. First week and a half. There we go. I felt this soft fuzzy feeling just being in VR. Now, I probably should have said this earlier, but whenever I'm in real life, I because of the way I grew up, I've had terrible anxiety. So, but I've always had a good time in video games. So, whenever I'm not playing video games, just existing in real life, I've always had this horrible, terrible feeling in my gut. And sometimes if I'm around people, it feels like someone's trying to strangle my throat. And it makes it hard to talk and it makes it hard to enjoy anything. But once I got into VR, that disappeared completely. It's like my mind made the link between video games and real life and it just removed it. And everything is so much easier now. Like, you have no idea. Sometimes I've been and I've been playing VR chat so I can get over my anxiety. And I've actually started cracking jokes at work, and people are actually having fun. It's like, what? But yeah, that's one of the big benefits for VR for me. So that's why I'm gonna keep on messing around in VR chat at least, even though that like the way people talk in VR chat is obviously different than how people talk in real life. Well, depends on who you talk to, but yeah, in general, it's a lot different. But yeah, so let's see, soft and fuzzy feeling whenever I'm in VR chat. That's gone now. Now that might just be because I've been getting sleep. I mm, anything that like went wrong with my brain when going into VR chat went away with plenty of sleep. Now, some of the things that happened when I didn't get enough sleep is things like played like 7 hours um in VR chat on my first day, and I didn't have much sleep. So the next like couple work days, it was not a fun time because I don't know how I can say this, but like just the way you pick things up in VR chat and such, that's how it felt like just picking up stuff in real life. So it felt really weird, and also because kind of you kind of slide across the floor a little bit. It felt like whenever I walked places, I felt like I was sliding everywhere. It felt kind of cool, but it's a little concerning, you know, especially since I work at McDonald's, working the grill constantly all day. You don't want to be feeling all weird in the head when you're working in front of stuff with like hot grease, especially when you're doing it at a fast pace. So let's see. What else was there? Oh yes, I am a lichen rock right now. The first few days, now the first day I didn't play VR chat. Second day, I played VR lichen rock quite a bit. And since I was too nervous to go talk to people in VR chat yet, I spent a lot of time talking in front of the mirror, getting used to the emotes and such. And then I'm still not used to them though. But I was spending time in front of this because it's interesting. Uh, just doing random gestures and such in VR. It's just kind of cool. But apparently, doing that made it so whenever I would close my eyes or like whenever I was thinking about me doing something, apparently my subconscious was like, "You are a lichen rock." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. We're not doing this." But yeah, so that was kind of interesting because it might be because like the only time I look at myself is in the mirror when I'm brushing my teeth. Obviously, I don't I don't look at myself and go, "Oh, so beautiful, so handsome." I don't do that, so I don't see myself that much. I just do what needs to be done: brush hair, brush teeth. So I didn't see myself that much. But then I look at myself in the mirror, and I've been hanging out in front of the mirror for like a couple hours, trying to work up, like, not being so intimidated by VR itself, and trying to work up my courage to like talk to people. I mean, well, actually, I wasn't really working up my courage because I didn't have that anxiety feeling uh, at the time. But I did get the anxiety later on though when I went to actually talk to people because I was like, "Oh crap, I'm gonna mess up." When I actually get into VR, when I was thinking that all day at work because it's boring as hell there, my mind is gonna dwell on that the whole entire time. So my mind just kind of brought the anxiety back because I was worried about that. Um, but yeah, let's see. But yeah, so it was really weird uh, doing that. And let's see. Obviously, I'm not a lichen rock, obviously, but I felt it, and I had a feeling that might happen. So I was kind of mentally prepared for that just in case. So uh, I can imagine a lot of people becoming other kin or Therians because of VR if they have an experience like that. But this might be a thing that only happens for the first time, and if you like do it in a situation like I did, which is not going to be many people, luckily. So, but still, I could imagine that happening. But with a few days of like getting some proper sleep, that went away, luckily. So, but it is very tempting to want to be a lichen rock. Lichen rocks are awesome. But yeah, so yeah, just get plenty of sleep, it'll be all set. Now, I will say this: it's very strange going from the VR worlds, especially when you're a short character like Lycanroc, to a normal sized person. Like the default, give it, give it. No, not that. Give it. That's the problem with Lycanroc's massive palms. Now you've been looking at my palms. I don't want to be a girl. You've been looking at my massive paws for a while, and then you look at these. These look very small. But these are like the actual size of your hands, so it's really weird when you see that. Then you look at everything else; everything looks really tiny. It's kind of like that uh, when you take off the headset. It's really weird. Um, now, let's see. The best way to put this is if you ever gone like throughout your whole life without seeing something from your childhood and then you suddenly see it as a kid when you've all grown up and you see how tiny it was, it's kind of like that, but like a bit more extreme. All right, so let's see. What else? Let's see. Let's see. What else was I gonna say? Oh yes, Phantom Touch. Of course. How can I forget Phantom Touch? Now, with me being immersed in games really easily, like I felt kind of Phantom Touch already in just games. Whenever I got super into video games, when I got in the zone in those games, like I would feel already. But it was only like a very minor sensation, even when I was totally in the zone. It was only a minor sensation. Whereas this, I feel quite a bit. Uh, yeah, but so Phantom Touch I find very interesting, and there's only going to be more technologies that make it more intense. Now, now I haven't felt. Oh yeah, if you rustle my hair, if you talk to me in video game, like I will feel it. It feels like my hair is actually being rustled a little bit. I don't feel it when I do it to myself though, for some reason. But when someone else comes up to me and just starts, oh, okay, now I feel it. If someone else starts rustling my hair, I will actually feel it. It feels like someone's rustling my hair. It, I, it's so weird feeling the phantom touch. But I guess the body's very good at simulating feelings. Now, if you try to touch my face though, it's really far away. So I haven't really felt it too strongly. That's because it's so far away. I'm touching the nose. It's so far away. So I have to change my avatar to do something like that because otherwise I have to get really close. I hate doing this. This is the third time I'm doing it, but like, oh, god damn it. uh, all right, here we go. It just you have to get really close. Ah, yeah, but yeah, you have to get kind of close, and it feels like because of this, maybe it's just because I'm using these giant nails. It feels like it's a big, hard, scratchy thing hitting the face. It's just not fun for me. But if I did something else, it probably wouldn't be that bad. You know, yeah, sure. We'll see what that's like. I haven't messed around with Phantom Touch all that much, but yeah. So you need to clean your hand there, buddy. Ugh. So yeah, I definitely feel the phantom touch. That's for sure. But let's see. Let's see what else. What else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot about phantom touch. But yeah, it's a very strange experience. But if it's just only gonna get better with VR because there's things that are coming out. Look up haptic gloves. Look up the Tesla suit. The Tesla suit scares me though because it's mimicking the electric pulses in your arm to mimic, and if they want to, they can move your arm if they want to. But supposedly it's nearly unhackable, so it's not that big of a deal. But things get glitchy a lot of the time, so I'm kind of afraid of that. But that could be the most immersive thing ever because it can choose how strong or soft the touch is, and they in some of the versions there's going to be you can feel the temperature in the suit as well, so that's going to be pretty big. So yeah, I expect VR to be a lot more interesting in the future. So I just yeah, but for me, this is already pretty damn immersive, I gotta say. It's just been blowing my mind now. But yeah, that is the reason why I was being in front of the mirror for a while, because I was going holy shit so much that I didn't want to be going holy shit when I got to in front of people, which I still did a little bit my first time, but that's fine. Uh, Speaking of, it is very easy for me to forget to eat food and eat and drink enough water because it's very very comfortable being in this headset. And then I already feel very good in video games in the first place, so having something that forces you to be in the video game world and the headset feels kind of comfortable, it is so easy for me to just want to lay down and just rest. So I'm definitely one of those people that would just frickin' fall asleep in VR. And I have a feeling that might actually happen once I get my full body trackers. Uh, but yeah, it's just ridiculous. Let's see. What else was there? What else? What else? What else? Um, hmm. I think I got everything. If you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'm still trying to think. There's got to be something else I'm forgetting. This is the problem with the unscripted format, but I'll just have to see. If there's anything else, I'll probably put it in the description. But I feel very good. Oh yes, I can think of something now. I've been getting a lot more physically active because of this. Because when I play a video game, I usually just sit there and just veg out, and I don't feel motivated to do anything. Whereas in VR, I'm standing up all the time, so the blood's flowing. Because I'm moving around and all that other stuff. So I feel much more motivated to actually do things. So I have a feeling I'm not going to be playing many normal video games after this because of that. Uh, Only problem is though, I if I'm already tired, I pretty much don't want to be in VR. And let's see, because when I play in VR chat, I don't really have a goal. I'm just kind of chilling. So because most of my life, I'm always pushing, 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 because that's what I was taught from video games when I was a kid. Because there's always a goal that you have to do, and you have to keep doing things the hard way multiple times over and over and over. So I kind of just carried that throughout life. So I'm usually tired, but just hanging out in VR chat, I don't have any real goals other than just relax and chill with people. So I get really tired really easily. So just nice to relax. I know that's probably not a VR exclusive thing, but that's just something that happened to me. I'll tell you that. but but like I said, the headset is very comfortable, and I feel comfortable in video games, so that's not helping either. So those things, I get really sleepy in VR very easily. Let's see. Uh, What was I gonna say? What was I going to say? Oh yeah. I don't. Did I mention anxiety? I mentioned the feeling, the gut feeling going away. Oh yes, here we go. So since I talk to people all the time online, I'm used to talking to people that to them in text constantly. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Voice was a little bit more tricky, but it's still not that big of a deal. But here's the thing that you don't get with voice chat and text chat. You get to move with your body. That is one thing that I never really thought about, but it actually makes a huge difference when you're trying to talk to somebody. Having body language really helps a lot. Now, of course, in my real life, no one really taught me how to be social or anything because everyone that I knew when I was growing up, family, my friends, they either were an asshole that were like absolute crap to people, or they were someone that had terrible anxiety, or they were someone that had massive anger issues. So between those three things, I never saw anyone that was really good when I was growing up, which is one of the reasons why I had terrible anxiety, because I was always paranoid that like someone was gonna start uh, yelling at me for no reason, or just like punch me for no reason, or something like that. It's just you never knew what was gonna happen. So I've been trying to learn how to like properly talk to people in real life by talking to people in VR because it never really happened. Because I've always been very quiet because of those loud people, and the jerks. So because if I said something wrong, they'd be angry at me. I meant for this to be a different video with the anxiety talk, but this is kind of important. So because of that, I've just been talking to people in VR chat, and I've been having an easy time talking to people. It's very interesting to me. So because I mean, the first couple days when I was playing on VR chat, it went how it usually does when I talk to people in real life. I go into a corner. I just I just be a wallflower and don't say anything, and that just happens. And then after like a half an hour, someone will come up and talk to me and say, "Hey, do something. Don't just sit there." Oh, that didn't really happen much, but probably doesn't make people feel comfortable when they just have someone just sitting there not saying a single thing. I don't want to look like a murderer. I mean, I know I'm using Lycanroc right now. I just like him, but it's just like I've just been a wallflower to the extreme. But with VR chat, I've been breaking the ice and talking with people a lot. It does help that like it's kind of strange because it kind of helps that other people are very quiet because it made me realize, oh crap, I'm not the only person that's really nervous about stuff. So it kind of helps. It also helps because on the first day that I was in VR chat, I was falling asleep. I was just sitting there. So I was just in there, and then some random person comes over, and is like, "Hey, come on and start dancing. Hey, put on this ridiculous song, like this booty dancing song." It's just like, what is going on? So because of that, I I got into the groove and just danced it away because he asked me to. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do this ridiculous thing. And then I had an easy time talking to anyone after that because I already did the most ridiculous thing I could probably do. And then it was just very easy to just chat with people. Which is actually kind of the way how I got over one of my massive anxieties when I was younger. Because when I was 19, I had anxiety that was so bad that like my muscles would stiffen up and I could not leave the house sometimes eh, because it would take too long from my muscles being so cramped up. I had a hard time moving. So, but I had some good friends that would bring me places. But like the one thing that really did it was they brought me to a convention, and I was like, "Are you serious? Are you sure about this? I don't think you understand how bad my anxiety still is. So, and it was really bad. So like 2 days, I was just sitting in there, in like one of the hotel rooms for the most part, just hiding away because I was too afraid. And then the final day comes, I'm like, fuck it. I am so tired. I am so bored of being in this goddamn room. I'm going out there. I'm gonna have fun. And then it was like the best time I ever had in real life. And I was so shocked because I never thought that would happen. So I could always think back to that moment and get good at have a fun time. But with VR, it is so easy to get into that situation though. So since I've been playing VR chat, I haven't been having problems talking to people at all. Well, a little bit, obviously. It's only been a couple weeks, but it has been. I did not think I'd make this much progress this quickly. I didn't think I would be the one starting the conversations. I didn't think I was going to be the one breaking the ice. I did not think that would happen, especially in the first couple weeks. It's just ridiculous. So VR is very good for breaking the anxiety. So that's one reason why you're going to be seeing me in VR. Uh, let's see. Have I said enough things? That might be it. Let's see. Uh, Dang it. This might be it. This might be the last thing I have to say. So, dang it. I think that's it. So I might just end it right here. Uh, yes. I think that's it. But yeah, if you come talk to me in game, just don't go in and oh shit, that's right. Just don't go in and out like that in front of my face because that's very distracting. Because like I said, I I hate that. But like I when people are going in and out like that, it's not that bad. But like it's those are different feelings I'm feeling. By the way, when I go like this with my hand, all right, and when someone just goes in and out constantly, um, it's very strange. But yeah. Now I do not have VR legs just yet, so I'll give a little demonstration on what it's like to move without teleporting. It's very strange that I can just do this. This doesn't bother me at all with teleporting, but oh yeah, I should probably mention that. Those days that I didn't get much sleep in, my mind was very okay with things just teleporting randomly. It's kind of like blinking your eyes and moving at the same time. It's kind of like doing that. It's very strange. Of course, that's kind of what it's like. It's not actually like that, but it's kind of like that. It's a bit more extreme in this thing, but it's kind of like that because when you're moving your head around and you're blinking, you have a general idea of what it is. So maybe a better idea would be like go into a spinning chair and then blink and then open your eyes. Of course, if you do that spinning for too long, it'll freak you the frick out. Sort of like what I'm about to do right now. So let's see settings. Now I definitely suggest leaving teleport on the first time you move around, and make sure you have it on for anyone who's new to VR. Because I was hoping to have full body tracking for this, so you could see me stumble around, but I guess you'll just have to go with my head tracking. I hate doing this. This is probably like my fifth or sixth time, but there's a reason why everyone teleports around. Because, oh god. And then, all right. Jesus. But yeah. Uh, but yeah, it's very fuck. It's even worse when you go next to a wall. Jeez. All right, I think you got my fucking point. It's very anyway. It's very hard to keep your balance when you're doing that. If you have, oh my god, if you have VR legs, you could probably do that. Some people are used to doing that. I'm just walking around a bit because it feels weird to sit still. Um, but yeah, if you have VR legs, you can do that. It's not that big of a deal. But for me, I'm probably gonna stick to the teleporting method for quite a while. Oh, I still feel a little weird. Oh yeah, of course. I haven't barfed yet, but I never really barf at anything. But there's definitely enough videos on YouTube of people barfing from motion sickness in VR chat. So don't eat too much food before you get into VR and for your first time. Uh, just be careful in general. Uh, Now, I haven't tried doing alcohol and then doing VR. I have no idea how that would work. I I don't know how much of an effect it would have because I don't really feel the effects of alcohol that much. I get a little giggly and huggy around some friends, but other than that, I don't really feel the effects. But of course, I've been told that just because you don't feel it much doesn't mean it's not actually affecting you more than you might think. I don't know shit about alcohol. I never buy it or anything, so maybe I'll do that at some point. maybe maybe that's my objective for St. Patty's Day. I'll see what it's like to have some alcohol in VR. I don't remember which day St. Patrick's Day is. Oh well, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna try doing that. But yeah, all right. I'm starting to feel okay. That's the longest I've ever done that because I just want to see the most extreme it could be. And I almost fell over. So, and I'm not gonna try actually falling on my face because I like my headset. I like all of my electronic stuff. I don't want it to be destroyed. I'm not gonna fall right now. uh, Speaking of which, if you get the Vive and you get the deluxe Headstrap, it's a bit of a pain. Be very careful about uh putting it together. Um, there was one good video. Remind me to link it if I don't link it in the description, because there was actually one video that was did it step by step and let you know like all the things you have to be careful of when you're taking it out because otherwise you're gonna snap something and something's not gonna break and it's not gonna be fun. But yeah, it it's been really fun messing around with VR chat. Oh yeah, I suppose I should mention this. I could not do this at all in the desktop, but I can shoot things a lot better in VR. Like boom, I got 3. I could not even get 2 of those, and my aim still sucks though because I haven't been messing around in VR all that much. But it is so much easier to aim in VR than it is on the desktop because you can see how close or far things are a little bit better. It's hard to describe. I mean, you probably won't really see the difference like that, but like it's a lot easier. Let's see. Huh. Let's see. Anything else though? I think that's pretty much it. Sorry if I started rambling a bit long, but you know, I I really want to get kind of thorough in VR, and there's probably still some things that I missed. If I missed something, I'm gonna go look at my like little text document and then just put in the description. But I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Uh, I would imagine. Let's see. Dang. All right. Just in case you were wondering what I was going to say, I would imagine that it probably is a lot easier to get into a character when you're actually looking at like your model, because you can actually see the things, which is one reason why I'm starting to wonder if maybe my anxiety is just because I'm playing a Lycan Rock, because Lycan Rocks don't give a fuck. But yeah, and no, I was not doing voice acting very hard there. I'm very dehydrated right now because I've been trying to. I was another video I was trying to do an update video where I kept on redoing and redoing and redoing. That's one I'm just gonna do the first time, and I'm just gonna upload this because this is going pretty well. Just need to warm myself up. Uh, I will say it is very interesting seeing the different heights of different people, because some people are like way up there, some people are down here. So it feels weird because in real life I'm 6'2". Lycan Rock is 3'7". I am looking up at people most of the time, and things are like more made for people who are a little taller. Like I can barely reach that. So yeah, it it's been interesting being a shorter character, uh, because almost nobody's taller than me in real life. There's like a couple people that are like 7 foot, and there's like one person floating around in the town that's like 8 feet. So it's very rare for me to find someone that's actually taller than me. So it's very interesting to just look up at people, and I could imagine that in the future, uh, VR would be really good at like getting used to different bodies and such. Especially if we combine it with that technology where you can move things with your mind. If you've seen any of those videos where people are moving robot arms with their mind, and it's been fun looking at the progress, because at one point it was just like just barely doing anything basically, but like now you see people doing this, just like perfectly smooth motions with the robot arms, and it's just great. So I'm glad that like people that don't have arms can get used to that, and I could imagine that people could easily transfer that into the VR world. And if you want, um, they could probably easily translate that into something like wings or like a tail. So that'll probably happen at some point. So you can be whatever you want. And then if you combine that with some things that like keep you in place in the real world, which I haven't seen too many things that are very interesting, because I feel like anything that allows you to walk around quite a bit is going to be fairly expensive, because people are heavy. So it's going to be it has to be strong enough to hold you. So I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. But yeah, I am fully on board with VR. It has made my life a hell of a lot better. Because I I should probably mention I've always had trouble with my exercises, because I'm usually too tired and I just don't have the energy to go and do it. But like with VR, like whether I do it before or after exercise, if I do it before exercise, I'm already moving around and my body's all warmed up. I can just go straight into it. Whereas opposed to playing regular video games or just doing like uh, text document stuff, uh, boring work at the computer, I'm just sitting down the whole time, and your body starts getting lethargic and all that. But when you're in VR, you're just moving around, go whatever. And then you can just take it off, go straight into exercise. Um, But I will say this: once if you do take off your headset, I say taking a nice cold washcloth to your face. It really makes you feel a lot better because your head is going to feel really weird once you take it off. Um, let's see. What was the other thing? What was the other thing? Oh yeah. And if you now the other reason why I've been having an easier time doing exercises is because I tell myself I cannot do VR unless if I do my exercise, which is something that you can do with anything else, but like almost nothing. And I've always had a hard time doing reward systems. It never works for me. For some reason, I just can't do reward systems, but for some reason, that's working for me. So whatever. But yeah, let's see. Anything else? I yeah, I've had a chance to end the video like 3 times now, probably. But yeah, if definitely, uh, definitely makes you more aware of your physical being when you're in VR. So that's definitely a thing. There's uh, the only problem is you can get dehydrated and a lot more hungry than you might realize it. Like I did say earlier, but I don't know. Yeah. So, oh yeah, I should probably mention things that you should probably not be aware of with VR. First of all, there's the hardware side of things. Make sure you have a display port. Make sure you have a very powerful graphics card. Um, make sure, uh, just make sure all these things. Also, with my fucking Vive, I didn't know there was sensors, and oh, I kind of did, but I thought you could have them on the floor. No, you can't have the sensors on the goddamn floor. It was so annoying. So I had to get tripods, but you can't just have any tripods. They have to be high enough to go above you. Since I'm 6'2", I had to get like 8 foot tripods. That was a pain in the butt. The tripods that I got, um, did not come with like an easy mount for me to just put the sensors on, so I can't angle it, so I couldn't get it right. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll just go grab one down at Walmart or something because they use the standard screws that a lot of cameras use. So I figure, hey, that should be easy, right? No, they didn't have any there. I'm like, what? So I had to go order it online, and then another couple weeks went by. There's just so many things. And then let's see, the startup. Let's see. Yeah, definitely make sure you have plenty of room because I have nearly the maximum amount of space. Let's see. Where can I stand? I don't know. Maybe here. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think you can see the blue grid, but yeah. So basically, it's lined up pretty perfectly with that right there. But like, I'm nearly maximum space for the Vive, so it goes like right here. Now I have a little bit more space. I'm going slowly because I didn't want to actually hit my TV, but basically there's a couch somewhere around here, but yeah. This is like pretty much like the 5x5. So I gotta be careful. But one little thing that's kind of annoying about VR is that if you get a little too close, you can see the grids. It's about like that far away uh, with the grids, so you kind of have to get used to that. You can turn them off, but I suggest not doing that. Do not do that because it is very tempting to just drop something because like, oh, okay, here we go. Because you can look at this. This looks exactly like it does in real life, except I don't have a little gray thing. That one in Steam VR is a little bit better. But yeah. Oh shit! I don't think you can see this. Oh wait, you can't. Oh shit, my bad. Dang. All right, well, whatever. But yeah, it's very easy for you to grab something and just want to place it on the floor. uh, but you can't really do that. And a funny thing about that is that when I did the home VR thing, they start you off with the default controllers, and I knew going in you should not drop it, but for some reason my brain was like, I'm just gonna go put it down here, and then I dropped it. I'm like, did that really just happen? Did that did that really just happen? So while the Wii Fit, I mean the Wii stuff, you might not want to bother with the straps, but for VR, make sure you have the straps. Make sure you have the straps because it's very, very easy to want to drop the controller. But yeah, so just gotta make sure you do that. Also, sometimes you just want to adjust your headset. Oh, speaking of, make sure the fucking back of the head strap is like below the the nub of the back of your head, because otherwise it's gonna be like the it's gonna be terrible. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. Oh yes, and also make sure you check your IPD. Um, the Vive has something in there where like you can take the paper, put it up in front of the mirror, and then oh goddamn, I gotta set this up. But you gotta get the IPD, and then go in front of the mirror, and then see how far away the pupils are. Make sure that the line is like right above where the pupil is. And if it's different from something else, go ahead. But make sure it's directly above the pupil, and then you set the settings on the thing itself, so it will actually look more clearly. Now, speaking of clearly, make sure you keep it in a somewhat cool room, uh, because otherwise you're gonna get so sweaty, and it's gonna fog up the lenses. Whether you're wearing glasses or if you have your glasses off, it's gonna blur the screen, and then everything's gonna be all blurry, and you're just gonna have a bad time. Besides, it being super sweaty is just not a fun time. So make sure you have a cold room. I hear now. I've heard that a fan is nice for that, but I hear some people get more sensitive. I haven't tried that yet, but some people do get more sensitive with the fan. Well, I don't know. That seems a little weird to me, but maybe that's the thing. The whole thing about VR is very strange. Let's see. What else? What else? Um. Oh yeah, and of course, make sure that you don't want. If you're doing VR for the first time, uh, don't punch things randomly like that, because if you have something delicate at the edge of the wall, they'll punch it. And don't ever expect to know what the world around you looks like before you take the headset off. It'll never work. It'll never work, especially if you're doing this. That will mess things up so much. All right. Let's see. What else? Anything else with the setting up process that I should mention? Nah. But yeah, make sure you have plenty of water. You gotta have plenty of water, plenty of sleep. Otherwise, it's gonna mess with your head in ways that you don't want. And anything, if you feel hungry or thirsty, it's gonna feel a lot hungrier and thirstier once you take that headset off. So I'm probably gonna hate myself when I take this off because I've been talking a lot and I'm very dry right now. So that's gonna happen. Uh, let's see. Uh, oh yes. Uh, don't if you get vertigo or anything like that, I suggest not doing anything involving heights for a while. Like I still feel weird just doing the jumping thing. It's I mean, it's kind of like the sliding around the floor thing that I was doing earlier, but it's not as bad. But it's still gonna mess you up a little bit. because I can walk around and do the jumping a little bit, but I I just suggest not doing like super crazy falling off of stuff. Can I fall off of this? No, let me fall off. Oh, there we go. Come on, come on, no, damn it! I want to show you, but yeah, it feels really bad when you fall off of something. I do not fall off right away, and if you're forced into a situation where you have to fall off for some reason, close your eyes, make yourself fall off, wait like 5, 10 seconds while you're moving stuff around, and then open your eyes. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time when you're first getting used to VR because it will mess you up a bit. All right, so let's see other tips. I don't know, but you should always go ask people that are experienced in VR to what you should do because I've only been around for a couple weeks, so there's definitely going to be more that people aren't really used to. Um, but yeah, I think that might be it. Oh, right. Make sure you do the tutorial. Do the tutorial. Uh, because the tutorial is a nice, calm place for you to get used to the VR. I don't know if it's different, but just make sure you do the Steam VR tutorial because it's very good. There's like almost nothing happening. Though I will say if you for what happened to me was like there's a whole bunch of commotion that happened before I even put on the headset because I didn't know it would start the game automatically. So I was still messing around with things. So it was very quiet after that. But yeah, the game is very nice and slow outside of that. So you might want to wait like a minute to make sure that it like gets all the crazy stuff out of the way before you actually put the headset on. Um, then it'll be nice and slow, so you get used to it because you're gonna be going holy shit the whole time. And then at the end of the tutorial, the car there's a car that comes by, comes near your area, but nowhere close. It's still enough to make you go holy shit, but it's like about the far away as that table is like how close it ever gets to you, but that's still enough for you to go like holy crap. So it's a nice easy way for you to get used to VR without your mind being blown. And with how like bad my first days after using VR for the first time was, I suggest taking it nice and slow so you don't screw with your head. Because your perception of reality is a little messed up if you don't get enough sleep and you don't have enough water and such. Just make sure everything's okay for your first time. Now, I have been told that uh, the headset that you use for your first time is very important because if you use something that's like really crappy, you're gonna VR is gonna be very underwhelming for you for the rest of your life, supposedly. But if you use a good headset, you're probably gonna feel like VR is like the best thing ever. So because of that, I got the Vive right away instead of trying to do the fucking phone thing because that would be really bad. Now speaking of which, now hopefully this gets changed at some point, but like there's like this what's it called? It's the screen something effect. Like when you look at how some mirrors have like this little black screen thing. I'm a little tired right now, but not as tired as I was when I first did VR. But there's how Windows have a screen. It kind of looks like that everywhere. I didn't know that was even a thing, so no one told me about that. So that will be a little distracting, like for the first couple seconds. But like once you get used to that, your mind kind of just like clears it out, and you just see the models themselves. It's kind of weird, but I still hope that they like fix it in like future hardware stuff because it makes things not look the greatest. So let's see what else. Oh yeah, if you have seizures, be careful of the worlds that you go to. Um, Now I've never had a seizure. I don't think I'm seizure prone to anything, but like I went to a some world that had particle in the name where it would play loud music and the colors were absolutely insane. I had a very strong effect to that, and I never get any sort of feelings towards seizures or whatever. So if you're weak to seizures or anything, be careful of the worlds that you go to. And of course, there is one video where like someone in full body was had a seizure. So yes, you can get a seizure in VR. And of course, if you see an avatar that could cause you a seizure, you can always well in VR chat you can always click on the person, and then you can just click block or something like that, and then it'll just make them disappear. You won't see them at all. Or you can just disable their avatar, and then they'll just be a robot person. So so they can still be there, but you can still talk to them. Uh, yeah. So yes, VR is like the best thing ever. Just of course, always be safe. As with anything, you can screw any kind of hobby up and make it really a terrible time for you. So just be careful with VR. It is awesome, but make sure you have money for other things before you go actually buy VR. I only bought VR because I knew my anxiety was very bad and I was very afraid that like I would hate people forever because um my seeing people only in a stressful workplace was making me kind of like hate people in general, and just I was being angrier and angrier like slowly over time as time was going on. So I was like, okay, this is not good. I'm gonna go get VR now, actually. And then I caught it, and now I am absolutely having a fun time whenever I'm around people. So, yay! uh, I can only imagine what it would have been like. So I will say that that's not totally a VR thing. It's just another thing where it's like make sure you get spend time with people. Don't just like be by yourself all the time. Don't overwork yourself. Make sure you have enough time to go talk to friends. Otherwise, it can be hard to feel empathy towards other people. I swear I'm not insane. But yeah, let's see. I don't know. But yeah, what am I to say? Whatever you can do to keep yourself sane, just do it. Because whatever else in life, if you can't stay sane, you're not going to be able to do anything else. Make sure your mind and body are good. Focus those before anything else. I just find that VR made it very easy for me to improve myself socially. So yay! So weird as this sounds, this whole video probably sounds very strange, and it's probably not going to be like the most normal experience for VR. But seeing people fall over in VR is pretty fun. I gotta say that. Yeah, which is why I wanted to do the sliding thing again. I'll do that one more time before I end this little video. It's just a fun time. But yeah, if you have any questions about VR, just feel free to ask me. I'm okay with answering anything. Now, I may not have the answer, but I will still tell you. I'll still reply. I kind of killed my channel with some bad videos for a while, so it's been pretty quiet. So if you say something, I will hear it. All right. Uh, let's see. if I can think of anything else safety related. Any other tips about VR? Um, you might want to have someone else with you for your first time in VR if if they know VR very well. Like if you're doing VR chat or something. That way you're not like stumbling around doing stupid shit. And they'll totally understand and just walk you through it and have an easy time as opposed to like random people in VR chat. You might run into people that are screaming their heads off. There's a reason why there's a block button. There's a reason why. There was that only happened on my second day. The second day I played VR chat, there was a bunch of screaming people. But outside of that one day, everyone's been pretty cool, and I'm surprised how quiet most people actually are. But people are actually kind of fun to talk to. So yeah, go figure, right? All right. So, oh yeah, I. Also, if you get into VR chat, you might want to look into doing 3D modeling, so you don't have a model that everyone can use. That way, people don't like get confused when someone else has your same avatar. Also, make sure the allow avatar cloning. Turn that off if you don't want people being the same thing that you are. It can be a little strange seeing someone else being the same person as you. That doesn't happen in real life because in real life, you can't choose what you look like, and there's usually imperfections in whatever body that you have that you won't ever see what it's like when someone else approaches you. Whereas in a virtual reality world, you get if you use one avatar for a long time, no one else uses it, and then someone else uses it, it feels a little weird looking at someone else that is using the same body as you. Yeah. All right. I think I've blabbed on enough. Blech. My words are failing me now. I've blabbed on enough. I still said that wrong. But whatever. You get the point. I've blabbed too much, probably. So if you have any questions, say things in the comments or just talk to me wherever you want. So yeah, feel free to talk to me in VR chat. Yeah. I usually hang out in murder. Just because I'm used to talking to people in a video game setting, so murder is pretty close to a video game type of setting, but it's a bit more social than that. So that's why I kind of hang out there. Eventually, I'm going to go to other worlds and get used to talking in other people in other places because it is a little worrying to go into a normal world and just talking about random things for no reason. But it's a lot easier than doing that in real life. I will say that probably. I was actually going to try going to the hub world in some other random worlds and just talk to random people today, see how well I can do that because I have an easy time talking to people in murder. So I would assume it might be easy to do it in a normal world, but I don't have a game to distract people, so it might be a little bit harder to start a conversation because with murder, you have people like, all right, were you the one? I don't know if you were the one. I don't know if I can trust you. And or you can try having cooperation or something like that. If you can't think of anything to say off the bat, you can try cooperating with them and then just doing something like that. Because teaming can be a pretty easy way to break the ice. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of thing. Nah, I'm gonna make myself sick and then end the video shortly after. Oh boy, here we go. Okay. Because it's. Don't do it next to the walls. If you want to get used to it, do it in the open world first. What? Jesus. Uh, hello. uh, oh. All right. God. I'm just doing it randomly so I can make myself stumble the most. Okay. Uh. All right. Okay. That's enough. That's enough. That's. Oh, jeez. That is enough. That is enough. All right. I hope you enjoyed me talking about my first week or so in VR chat. It, uh, oh, and just in VR in general. Um, oh yeah, make sure you do some of the Steam VR stuff too. They're very nothing really happens in them. You can just walk around at your own leisurely pace. It's very nice and slow. Whereas VR chat is probably got to be a lot more a lot more intimidating when you have people walking in front of you and backwards constantly and using their crazy avatars. So yes, make sure you do the tutorial first, and then do the Steam VR games because they're nice and relaxed. Get you used to VR before you blow your mind with people touching you and such in in a VR chat or any other game like that. All right. I think it's been fun, so I'll see you later. And boom. No, stop recording.